Nosa community. As always, I am back. This is Shamika. We are hanging out here today and we're just going to have a quick discussion. But feel free to join our conversation as we have some links on the community board where we're talking about what we see happening in our industry. And I want to get you guys' take on it. But before we get into that, I want to first talk a little bit about where we've seen our industry start, grow, and become. So, welcome back to our channel. As always, if you are one of our awesome subscribers, it's time for another exciting journey as we discuss healthcare and everything healthcare. Today, we're going to be exploring a captivating world, of course, of healthcare staffing from a perspective of the way things used to be back in the day to the way things are today. And we'll be focusing more on some of the major changes that we've seen over the last decade. So buckle up and get ready to witness the evolution of healthcare staffing as we compare 2013 to what we're seeing here in 2023. So, of course, one of the major changes we've seen over the past few years has been around the demand for nurses. We saw that all throughout the pandemic. We still see a lot of that now. And it's kind of really hit ahead as we see more strikes happening and just more requests on changes about the way that we work. So let's start by talking a little bit about the demand. So from back in 2013, the United States faced a shortage of nurses then, and that was 10 years ago, which of course increased the number of vacancies. And then as we go into 2023 now, we see that again. So it hasn't gotten better. It's probably gotten a little bit worse. And some of the ways that some places have attempted to fill some of those gaps is at the educational level. So we're seeing more schools, nursing schools, more pathways to go through nursing schools or healthcare programs to really help people step it up and bridge a lot of that gap. So as we're doing that, it's important to understand how we as NOSAs need to really expand our footprints. And that can really look like connecting and collaborating with schools, whether it's at the technical level, private schools, public schools, because we see a significant trend happening where we witnessed in the healthcare space a rapid growth and expansion. And if you haven't witnessed it, I've definitely seen it where we have a lot of smaller agencies being gobbled up by bigger agencies or mergers or acquisitions happening. These things happen just like any other changes in the industry. As things go up, things go down. There's more opportunity with more resources. We've also seen some of the larger agencies reshuffle or shift about their executive team as well as how they do business. And we'll touch a little bit on how AI has impacted how we do business, specifically around recruiting. The next thing is the influence of the government. A lot of people don't take into account government programs in the healthcare sector play a pivotal role in shaping the healthcare staffing market. With the launch of various initiatives, such as health insurance programs, the demand for healthcare professionals has really skyrocketed, and it's created a even greater need than what we saw in 2013 with Obamacare. We saw a lot of the process around expanding access to care at the state and local levels. So the demand for healthcare professionals really in all elements will continue to rise at the pace that we're going, as well as it's a lead to booming businesses and staffing agencies. The latest government programs and legislation really do focus on healthcare staffing agencies, and that's some of the conversation we'll have tomorrow on our Talk About It Tuesday, and the topics relating to 1099 versus W-2. And that has so many layers to it, so I'm not going to really get too far into it. But changes around that legislation, changes around how it's adopted will really impact us as NOSAs. Some other trends we're seeing over the last 10 years, the healthcare industry has witnessed a wave of consolidations, a lot more bigger players, which takes up more of a market share. We've seen the outsourcing of some of the services that we typically see in a hospital setting. So we see a lot more ambulatory services, a lot more surgical centers where they're operating with less people, doing some of your non-invasive procedures. And this paradigm shifts both the opportunities that we can offer people as well as some of the challenges around how long they'd be able to stay. As always, in conclusion, as we wrap it up on the journey of the evolution of healthcare, it's changed, whether it be from technology to AI to big business to government, or even the conversation around W-2 versus 1099. We've explored some of the things that we have seen happen over the last 10 years. The demand for nursing has increased. The exposure and expanding of footprints where there's way more agencies in the market has increased, as well as the government's program around providing healthcare services. And then, of course, from a business owner standpoint of view, it's really important to understand and adapt as we see these changes happening to meet the needs not only of our clients but also of our employees, whether it be from technology, offering community related incentives, offering competitive pay, other types of businesses, so that we can thrive as we go through the changes over that have been happening in our industry over the past 10 years. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video or information informative, don't forget to go ahead and give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more exciting content. Come on over to our Facebook page and Facebook group as we continue the conversation more specifically about 1099 versus W-2 and some of the legislative information that's come down the pipeline about it. As always, thanks for supporting our community.